Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and sis and brother curlers. Welcome to into Braehead's Curling Arena and the Scottish Curling Mixed Doubles Championships semi-finals about to commence, and the final, which will be on at 2:30 this afternoon. My name is Leslie Ingram-Brown. I am one of the two commentators for you, and with me this morning is chairman of the Braehead Curling Development Group, Gary McFarlane. The two semi-finals feature the teams of Lee and Judith McCleary. They are husband and wife, who will be playing Bruce Mowat and Gina Aitken, and they are on sheet 6, whilst our feature game on sheet 5 features the brother and sister team of Logan and Lauren Gray, who will play Grant Hardie and Rowena Kerr. Now, many of you will be very familiar with normal pairs curling, but the mixed doubles is played in a slightly different format, and I'll hand you over to Gary to give you a brief explanation of the differences in the rules. Gary.
Good morning to everyone. Mixed doubles curling involves the placement of two of the stones, one just at the back of the tee and one out in the front. And the teams play 5 stones, so they have 6 stones in play altogether. This makes for a very aggressive form of curling, and it's unusual for there to be a lot of takeouts in this game. It's very much a game of drawing and tapping and trying to get the most advantageous positioning of your stones, usually trying to get the stones into the front of the forefoot. As a result of that, the mixed doubles results, quite often you find that the first few ends might be quite close, but very quickly, although you might win 3 shots, you might quite easily lose 4 shots at the next end, and the teams that usually do the best are the ones who manage to get the stones right in front of the forefoot and then move them around.
Thank you, Gary. Well, as you can probably see from the webcams, both games have started, and the stone which is placed just behind the tee will have a cross on it to identify it, and at the end of the end, should it be there, it could be so it will be identified at the end of the end, and it will still count. So the maximum number of shots you can score in this game is 6 shots at any end. Now, as you watch the game progressing, quick review of what's happened to date. For Lee and Judith McCleary, they opened on on Friday with a win against Robin Stevenson 6-4, and then defeated Logan Gray 11-10 before losing to David Aitken of Murrayfield 7-8, and then beating my co-commentator Gary McFarlane 8-3. For Bruce Mowat and Gina Aitken, they lost their first game to Grant Hardie 7-9, and then won the next 3 games against Cameron Bryce 14-1, Alan Chalmers 10-2, and Jim Cullen 8-3. In the featured game, Grant Hardie won 3 games, defeating Bruce Mowat and Gina Aitken 9-7, then defeating Jim Cullen 16-2, and then also winning against Cameron Bryce 7-3. Having already qualified, Grant and Rowena opted not to play their 4th game, so they didn't appear. So for the ranking, they were offered either to come to the draw shot challenge or not. They didn't come because there are 2 stones, one in the in turn and one in the out turn, thrown towards the draw shot challenge. As the last stone draws, they were given 2 185.4 score lines which actually placed them second in their group. For Logan and Lauren Gray, there was an opening win against Lee McCleary, the opening loss, I apologise, to Lee McCleary 10-11, and 3 straight wins over Robbie Stevenson 10-3, David Aitken 8-2, and again my co-competitor Gary McFarlane 8-5. This then set up a tie break in their section between the Greys and Kirsty Aitken and David Aitken, father and daughter, which Lauren and Logan Gray won 7-6, which put them into today's semi-finals.
Just to talk a wee bit about the game that we've got. It's been a very good race shot by Lauren Gray, which has put Logan and Lauren in a good position. They've got last stone advantage at the moment, and are lying one on the tee and one at the back of the 8 foot. It's quite an important shot here by Rowena, just to ensure that they don't lose a big end. And at this point, unfortunately, they've caught their own stone and are rolling out, which will leave the Greys lying 2 stones. Logan deciding now to draw, I think, to the other side to lie 3.
This ice here is very keen, Gary, and also has lovely swings in both handles.
And
so
this is over curling a bit,
feet.
I think.
Mm-hmm.
Struggling to get past the guard.
No.
Just a no more, well done. But short, so.
You know, it's awfully easy, Gary, from we're sitting up here and watching the games, not to miss the shots, isn't it? We play them all and we win them all. We don't miss anything, do we?
Well, I think I just missed that one, did I not?
Oh, just a little. We'll give you the, 6 inches?
So, Grant, I think, trying to go for double take. Looking quite close. Yep, good double.
Much better the one that comes out here. You can't do that with.
So
You'll be going to try and draw around on the other side?
no, I think this is the last.
It's just last stone.
Last stone.
Okay, we'll just draw into the house for
To take a one.
Yes. Well, he's got what would you say, 11.5 feet to play with, so plenty of room. Take a 1 at the first end. And whoever wins this end has a choice of at the last stone replacing the 2 stones.
Whoever loses this end.
Loses the centre, yes. Has the right to place the stones.
Yeah.
Now that's weight's looking good. There's not a lot of sweeping going into it. Logan's played a perfect stone. Yep.
And so Grant Hardie has the decision to make as to whether he wants to have last shot advantage, and generally that's what team would take. And as you see, when Grant's decided they're taking last stone, and apologies. I'm not sure if Leslie's head has fallen off the microphone or whether the microphone's fallen off his head.
Okay.
So Grant Hardie has decided to take last stone advantage, and his yellow stone has been placed at the back of the tee, and the red stone of Logan Gray's is out at the front, and Logan's now trying to get on top of the stone on the tee. And that's a very good result. Excellent position. And Grant Hardie will now deliver, and we'll try and get on top of that. We've been getting 5 and 6 foot swings this weekend. The ice has been absolutely excellent. Chris and his ice technicians have had a really great weekend, working very hard on the ice. That particular stone from Grant a bit heavy, and as a result hasn't curled quite so much, and leaves Logan the opportunity of placing another one in the midline. And in mixed doubles, because you're only playing 5 stones, very quickly you can get yourself into some difficulty, and the stone at the back of the 4 foot can become very problematic. This one looks a bit quieter. Lauren sweeping very hard, but looks like it's coming up short of the house. It's going to get there.
I'm just looking across onto sheet 6, just coming up to the end of their first end, and it looks very much as if red is lying the one shot in the house, which means that is the McClearys are lying 1 at the present time, and Bruce Mowat is about to try and draw into the centre of the house using the swing to get the one shot for the end. Now, Grant has decided that this next stone of Gina's to change the handle, and coming down on the out turn, trying to draw it right round to lie just in front of the red, not too far in, giving a little bit of cover but also a useful shot. But it looks slightly tight from here as it comes up, and I think it's just going to catch the edge. But, it's still going to leave a big enough port. That's the distance between the red and yellow stones for Logan to ask Lauren to draw up or put a guard on it. So I think from that you can take the intent that at the present time that the Greys are lying the one shot. Now on the ice is taking away out at the edge of the 12, it certainly must be a big swing. So
playing a
guard. Draw guard.
Yep.
I don't think he'd be too worried if he just comes into the house, because in that swing he's going to probably half covered anyway behind the 2 stones at the front. That's a bit short. That's going to swing a long way. That's 2 shots. Not going to do much good at all. And Lauren just querying with Logan why he didn't come out to help the sweeping.
Right, well, okay. It's in the midline and just over the hog line by about 4 feet, meaning that there's now 3 guards out on the front of the house.
Yeah, just about a straight line, so there'll be no problem coming round on Lauren's out turn. Oh, sorry, on Gina's out turn. She'll come round, and should be able to sit right on them.
So it's Rowena playing down, and I think hoping to get a slight tap on this. It looks touch heavy, but it's trying to move the red, to get a wee angle on it.
I don't think that's helped very much, Gary, because he's going to come more in behind.
Yeah.
You can't really get into it on the right-hander's out turn. So I think.
Yeah, I think.
Draw right up.
What they
Draw
needed to do
freeze.
was to come down and just sit on the front of it with a slight tap.
Yeah.
And set up a hit with the yellow that's on the outside. But because that's gone beyond the 4 foot, I think we'll now get a draw right down onto the top of the red stone on the 4 foot. Hanging slightly high at the moment. It comes now. I think they're just going to guard up. Good.
Almost perfect. Just prevents any raise. So. Grant will be asking Rowena to come down and probably just try and tap the stone to the side. Even if he rolls a wee bit to the edge of the floor himself, it still wouldn't be a bad shot.
Yeah, I think he's probably trying to set up himself for an angled raise of the yellow onto the red that's in the. So this shot will be a hack weight shot onto the front stone, hopefully.
Drawing off a lot. Well, it's going to catch the next one. Just.
Oh, but it's
is that okay?
Still done the job, because there are three yellow stones that are sitting in there.
I'd like to have an overhead camera for the fourth. Yeah, but it doesn't tell you with that yellow that went across whether or not it's just a biter or not. I don't think so, but the shadow doesn't tell you very much, and neither does that screen.
But I think
the viewing screen that we have in the producer's room doesn't show us the line.
Yeah, but I think what Logan is deciding is whether it's better to take the
yellow
stone at the front away to avoid the angled raise, or just put another stone on top of the red, hoping that Grant will not be able to remove both stones.
Well, I think he draws round and he sits on top of the red. I don't think there's any shot. Grant's
That's
got
right.
to take the two away.
Yeah.
So that's your better shot. But the one thing he doesn't want to do is come round just with a little bit heavy and catch the yellow behind the red, because that'll be more of an open shot for Grant to come down and give it a good dunt. Well, that one's got a long way to come, hasn't it?
It's got to come in off the yellow. Probably works quite well.
No, I would say there, Gary, there's a good chance of a double takeout, not too heavy weight. If he comes round nice and quietly, about height weight,
Yeah.
and hits straight on the nose of the front red,
Yeah.
the two reds
Yeah.
will go, and it'll be line 4.
Yeah. it's a very good opportunity for Grant to take a lead if he can get the nose of this.
I have to say he's not too far away. He's not too far away. Is he getting it right?
Oh,
no, not quite.
Slightly high.
I would say he was too heavy with that, Gary, because he didn't have let the stone dry enough with that ice. It ran fairly straight with a wee bit more ice and a wee bit less weight. It would drawn more. So that means that the Greys steal the end.
That's right. So they go 2-0 up. And on the other sheet, at the moment Bruce Mowat took a 1 at the first end, and we have a yellow and a red in the head, and I think Gene Aitken's just going to take one of the reds lying in there so that reduces the opportunity for the McClearys to take a big end. In mixed doubles, it's possible for teams to change their playing order, so that after every end you can just make a decision about whether you want to alternate, or if you feel that there's an advantage to changing your partner's position, then you're allowed to do that. Logan has just drawn up slightly short and over curled, so that there's an opportunity here for Grant to come up and get a bit of an advantage. Hanging slightly high at the moment. Possibly a wee bit heavy as well.
Yeah, that's sliding past. Although, well, that's helped Logan, just tapping the yellow across right behind his stone. Comes down, play the out turn draw. Lauren play the out turn draw and just try and come up to her own and just touch it forward about 3 or 4 inches. Be perfect.
Yeah. One of the other rules in mixed doubles that you need to be aware of is that for the first 3 stones, you're not allowed to knock out any of the stones that are in the head, and it's only on the playing of the 4th stone that you're able to do that. This stone from Lauren starting to turn quite quickly now, just hanging a wee bit high.
That's not too bad. She's moved her the stone she was going to try and raise. She's raised it a wee bit at an angle across, and she's rolled to the outer of the 4-foot herself, which means that the way she's lying, there is no double takeout on the reds.
Bruce Mowat is just playing a shot trying to get a double, and does, and yellow's now lying 3 stones in the head, with Lee McCleary having to draw to the button for his 1.
So if Logan is asking his sister I thought at one time he was going to ask her to take off the front guard, but he's opted now for the draw. And she'll be trying to draw around and through and probably to bite the yellow just behind T, because there is a small port there between the two stones.
I think he actually asked for it to be front 8 foot.
Well, I can't understand why. The stone's still to come.
I think what he's doing is he's guarding the right hand side of that red, because there's clearly a double. So he's just trying to guard up his lying stone at the moment.
Yeah, but if Grant wanted to and he came down and hit that red dead straight, dead on, he could take 2 reds away. Both in the 4 foot. And be in an advantageous position because he's got his last stone. I think that's just going to be too wide. What's it done? It's made it. Well. That's very strongly now in the favour of Logan. He's lying 2, if not 3, just depends on the position of the front red stone in the 4 foot, top of the 4 foot.
Just a report on the Bruce Mount, McCleary Graham. Lee McCleary drew to the button and have taken their 1, and so the game there is 1-all after 2 ends.
And here in the feature game, Lauren has been asked to draw into the house at the very front, placing a guard on the centre stones. A wee rub off that would be very nice. Well, it wasn't quite far enough for that, but certainly there's good cover on the shot right on the centre of the house. But you've still got you could probably play the double, the hit and roll off the stone to the right as you look at it. The one that Bussett's got his, Grant's got his brush on this now. If you come off the edge of that and towards the centre, he might easily move the one and lie one himself. Rhino stone doesn't seem to be too bad at present.
It's pretty good.
Enough kick. No, unfortunately not. But it's put it out more accessible now in the in turn.
Logan looks like
Logan. Yeah. Sorry, yes, 2 options. One is on the guard on the, I would say guard on the in turn, or on the out turn if he was to come down. He could certainly get round the 2 guards at a quiet weight and probably push that yellow through towards the back, probably 6 or 8, and roll into the white circle himself and be in a stronger position. But he's got to be very careful when he does that, because he could easily just thin it and hit the yellow onto the red and leave them lying short.
And the alternative to that is come down on the in turn and just try and get a nose tap on the front red, or if it's slightly angled, just to nudge the yellow out slightly.
Well, he's going in the out turn at present, so he's taking off ice. He must be just playing I was saying that, just a gentle tap.
Or even just coming onto the front of it.
Maybe, but the ice they were taking for the guard was about another, well, he's taking more ice, so I would say your shot's more likely now. I think the other way, if he'd played the slightly heavier weight, he'd need less ice, which he had taken.
And he's really tight.
He drew it tight. He did throw it tight, but we'll see what happens with his sweeping. Oh, he's passed it just.
And he's got the tap.
Yep. Oof.
Ooh, good shot.
I think there's an element of a big lad doing a lot of sweeping there, and it's well swept. Because he must have swept. I mean, he swept it most of the way, followed the dirt up himself, which you can do, and swept it all the way down the ice and got the right result. Now that gives Grant Hardie a problem, doesn't it? What does he do? Well, he could play a draw, because certainly we know it would swing, and he could get in between the two front stones, and you could sit up against the one just on and behind T, or you could try playing a tap off that, and bring it across, rolling it across to the in front of the red stone just behind T as well.
At the moment, Grant is 2 down, and looks like 2 red stones lying there. So, really tough shot to play. Just get his one. Just enough room to come through that gap.
Oh yeah, but whichever shot he plays now is going to be tough. I mean, if he was to fail and Logan blocked it out, it's going to be very difficult to leave my shot in the other hand, because the way the stones are turning at the end, lovely draw on them, he'd find it very difficult to come in and to the red on the left hand side, just behind T, and tap it out for one. It certainly looks as if the grey pair are lying 2 reds. Yes. It's not sweeping it yet.
It's hanging high at
it's
the moment.
hanging out, yep. But here it comes now. It's coming now, but not enough.
And
it's definitely 2 reds now.
Yep.
So that's another 2 shots away. So after 3 ends, it's 4-0 for the grey brother and sister.
And an excellent start, and 3 ends down with still 5 ends to go, so it's still early stage. What you might find in a game of pairs is that you would start hitting and clearing a lot, but in mixed doubles that's much harder to do, and so it's quite possible for a team to come back and get a high scoring end.
Let's correct the scoreline. We couldn't see the far end. It looks as if Logan and Lauren Gray counted 3 shots and not 2.
Yeah.
It's
5 now.
Yeah, it's a bit difficult sometimes to see when they're tight on the overheads.
So Ray and a shot coming down, just touch heavy.
Mhm.
Just move the Logan stone, and opportunity to now get into the, or maybe even tap, just a slight tap back of the front yellow, and to roll in just behind the front red guard.
Okay. Yeah. 23-year-old 23-year-old Lauren Gray throwing her out turn draw to the house. Lauren is a researcher with the headhunters Odgers Benetton here in Glasgow, and been curling for 15 years. So that means she threw her first stone when she was 8. Very prospective career she's got too.
Here's a good opportunity for Grant and Rowena to get back into the game.
Yeah.
If they can get a tap of the red that's just on the forefoot, and then get a slight roll in behind the guard,
Yeah.
that could be in a stronger position.
Yeah. Yes, Grant sweeps the stone up. He's been curling for 15 years. He started a year earlier than.
He's played a very good stone.
She's coming round
Super
nicely.
stone.
That's super.
Super
3
stone.
shots. 3 shots. Yes. Line 3. Logan comes up. Yeah, tap that one. It's not bad at all, because he's got whatever they do, he's got a draw in either hand. That's now. If Grant brings one or takes that away or comes round, Logan's still got the shot in both in turn and out turn thereafter to come round as well.
Yep.
So got to be very careful what he does here. Brown has asked for the out turn draw round. Try and sit it right on the pot lid, right in front of his own yellow, and make it very difficult for Logan and Lauren to come back in to get a shot and open their own scoring at the same time. Watching this move very carefully, he doesn't want it to over curl.
Just a wee bit deep, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, hit that and 2 yellows go.
Yep.
Yeah. The yellow on the right should go in front of the red stone at the back of the house. So there shouldn't be a problem there.
And in the other semi-final, Bruce Mout is now leading 3-1. He took a 2 in the third end, and
because it should be said that Bruce and Gina are the defending champions for the last 2 years. They've been to the world mixed doubles twice. And of course Gina's father's a very well-known killer, David, who was at World Junior Championship in Canada in 1986.
he's
Do you
watching
remember what his
anxiously
team
over
was?
to my left as well.
Yes, I know. Do you remember his team?
Not quite. I wasn't really around at that point. So Lauren, I think, is drawing down probably onto the top of the middle yellow of this cluster. And hanging a wee bit high again, which is, yeah, just a bit heavy. And there's an opportunity now for Grant Hardie to come down and possibly lie 4. Just a question of what the best position of placement of the stone is. Looks like they're looking at a tap and a slight roll off the red on the 4-foot.
Okay, you've had long enough to think about it, Gary. Well, I'll give you the answer to my question.
Of course, I was trying to think
Okay.
of a funny comment at that point, but I can't think of one.
You feel okay?
Were you there at the time?
Well, I wasn't in Dartmouth, unfortunately. I would have liked to have been there, but it was Dartmouth, Canada. I do remember 2 of his team, but I just couldn't remember the third. I had to
Right.
get the wee magic box out for that one.
Who was it?
Robin Halliday,
All right. Yeah.
Big Peter Smith from
Right.
Perth, and Harry Riley. And it was Harry I couldn't remember.
Right.
So there is some pedigree in that team.
Well, they played very good curling this week. There's a unfortunate stone that's crashing guard.
I
Oh,
actually
that's
think the way up it looked as if it took a wee pick up,
Yeah.
and pulled quite sharply.
And that gives the grey team a really good opportunity to get in and to minimise the risk of a loss here. Just trying to work out the angles that.
This is where the mixed doubles becomes a slower game than the normal pairs, because every angle has got to be considered. When you've got so many stones in the house, you could be lying 3 stones or 2 stones and going for 4 or 5 and end up losing 3 with 1 shot.
That's right.
And it's your own stone doing the damage.
Makes it very interesting also from the crowd point of view, just trying to work out what they would do and then discover that the players actually decide to do something completely different.
Yes. Do you think we should ask our producer if he knows what shot to play here?
Well, given that you don't know what shot to play, I don't know how he's going to.
I know what shot I would play, but it may not necessarily be the right shot.
I think something just at the midline, top of the 4-foot is probably the right place, somewhere that they can't do a double.
Well, that's adventurous. That is really adventurous. But I don't see how you can lie 4 actually the way they're lying. I could give you might lie 2 or 3 if it all worked.
I think the guard's getting in the way of the triple takeout, Jonathan. We're having some problems with our producer here, I'm afraid.
He's busy giving us shots to play.
So Logan's stone coming down, looking slightly heavy and high at the moment. And he doesn't
Where is
want
he?
to
Where's he
be-
coming?
No, he's
He's not come as much as he wanted.
so in fact
He's still 3 against him.
it's a draw for 4.
4, yes. Well spotted. No, he wanted it to draw a wee bit more than hit and roll in.
Yeah, just a bit
And he
heavy.
just didn't get that. Yeah, just didn't get the shot. But as you've said several times already, Gary, it's amazing how a 3-shot lead can be burnt in one end, can't it?
Yeah, it just takes one
Well,
very
he's
good shot or
he's
one.
5-0. It could become 5-4. As it is, it's 5-3.
Interesting that they're coming down on the outturn. I would have thought they might have come down on the inturn. they're obviously confident of the amount of curl here.
Yes, there is a big curl.
A wee bit
straight
soft
away,
on the release, maybe. Yeah,
Yeah, straight away, straight out at it.
looks okay.
Yeah, so
though.
its weight's all right. It's just
It's a little bit heavy actually.
no, it's
Not-
coming now.
not-
Is it?
is that
I
enough?
don't think it's coming enough. I don't think it is enough.
Ooh, dear.
Ooh, dear, oh dear. Two,
So it's on. Yeah.
1 and 2. I think that'll be 2 only, because I think
Yep.
they nudged the red in for the Loganstone in for third shot. That's a shame. Probably the feeling as she sat in the hack was that she was quite safe because the stones were there. Tendency just to be up to them too far. Whereas the other hand she'd have to play the dead draw, because there wasn't so much backing.
Yeah. I think they're so open on that side. I would have thought a dread draw would have been better. Anyway,
Can't see the other one. Is that one yellow? One yellow. Looks like on sheet 6 with 2 stones to go that Bruce Mount is lying the one shot just biting the centre circle, the 2 foot, and the McClearys have got, I think it's second and third. There's certainly one at the back that could be, and one at the front, splitting the yellow. Or maybe not, we have to wait and see. Well that's made it different. Definitely one red now. Gina came up and hit the wrong angles unfortunately, and pushed the McClearys in definitely for shot. And it could be that McClearys are lying second shot as well now. No.
yeah, I
Is
think
it?
there might be.
There might be.
Yeah.
There might be.
Yeah.
Yes. Just looking at the overhead monitors on the next sheet. And it was definitely 1, maybe 2. Sorry? Oh, okay. We hear that you're seeing sheet 6 just now. So as you can see what we can see. Oh yeah, definitely 2 reds.
And the McClearys have last stone.
No,
This end.
yes, this is the last stone. It is not.
I'm not sure. Haven't been watching it carefully enough. I think this is the second last stone
Last
for
stone, is it?
McClearys. I think there's.
I haven't been watching that. I'm just looking at it. I'm trying to see up the ice.
Up until this end, Lee has been playing last stones for them. So I think this will be a draw down onto the top of the red. It's quite light. Maybe it's a guard.
Could be. Meanwhile, there's a draw round by Rowner for Grant and Hardie, and she's right round and onto the centre of the house. It's a nice
strip
draw.
that right in.
Right, yep. It's
Yep,
behind the
pretty
2
good.
guards. It's pretty good.
So the Greys are 5-2 up at the moment, and at this point deciding, since they're lying on the tee, we're going to clear guards. So
Looking quite good. So now it's hitting across, she's cleaning the guards alright. So that opens up the whole of the centre of the house. Now on sheet 6, Bruce Mount must be very careful how he goes for the stone. If he hits the wrong angles, he could actually lose 5 shots. Or be lying Or be lying 5 shots with the last stone to come from the Lee McCleary combination of husband and wife. He's come down. Oh, that's unlucky. I think certainly 1, maybe 2.
I think he was maybe trying to
last
play
stone.
that. I think he was maybe just trying to play that so that he minimised a big loss
Big
here.
damage. Yeah, I think so too.
But if you hit the red on the right hand side,
if you actually hit it in the right place,
yep,
you could have forced a 2 away and be lying. I would have thought 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 5, because I think the shooter would roll away.
Yeah. However, we're not showing that game at the moment, and
we're back here, and
we'll maybe switch when they play that game, play that shot. We might switch over to
Lauren playing a takeout here. This is looking very good. That is very good. Quite happy with that. 2 stones behind are gone, and the single yellow is lying open.
Okay, just having a wee look at the shot that Lee McCleary is considering. Looking to try and remove both yellows by hitting the red at the front of the 4-foot. Certainly can go, and just delivering the stone now. Looks like a barrier weight shot. Judith McCleary coming down to sweep. Hanging slightly high.
Don't know.
Yeah. Oh,
2.
just a 2.
As well played for 2. So our Qantas is a bear from Stirling. Counts 2 shots. Nice 2. Could you have done with a couple of those shots during your term here?
I think even a couple of shots wouldn't have been enough for me.
Sorry, Gary. But it was a well played shot. Well played shot.
We had some very good games against Lee and Logan, and very tough games. They played excellent shots, and we were just slightly deep with quite a few of our stones.
But the main point is you enjoyed it.
Absolutely, that's a great game, and really good to see more people playing it in Scotland. It would be nice to see a few more competitions so that people could play it more often. I have to say I'm slightly disappointed that there's not a break after 4 ends so that we could get a cup of tea, Leslie.
Well, the stairs are to your left.
I'm attached to some wire of some sort.
I don't know. So. Nice Robin. Nice Robin. He's just going downstairs.
So Grant opting to hit the nose of this and then try and lie 2.
Lie 2.
He'll just need to be careful to make sure that he manages to roll away a wee bit so that the double's not on.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I would agree with that. Better be careful in case that. Ooh. He can't do much better than that. But does Logan's got to play the next shot, and he's certainly got the weight ability to play the double. And then with the spin turning, he's not taking very much ice, but at that probably a solid barrier weight.
Just
we do it.
hit it a touch high on the nose of the front yellow. And rolls away.
Just a wee bit harder so he didn't get the swing. You often get that in swingy ice when you throw it heavier with a little more handle. It will just very straight, not a lot of drawing it.
Anyway, that just making sure, and Logan takes a 6-2 lead now after 5 ends.
If our producer could just turn over to sheet 6, we could actually maybe just catch what's happening at the very far end. I'm sorry to tell you, but we've got a malfunctioning camera at the far end of sheet 6, so we're advised, and we can't really get out onto the ice to fix it at the present time. So we'll just have to go from eyeballing it and giving you our best possible view of the situation.
And at the moment, McCleary's are level with the Mount team, 3-all. There's a yellow just on the button, and 2 reds just in front of that on the 4-foot. And they're about halfway through the 5th end.
I think that's right, Gary. It looks very much that way, and Gina's trying to lay her stone up, draw it round, and just tap that red back a wee bit. Always taking it past it, swept it past, obviously going to cause damage, and push it in behind the guards. Just outside the front of the house, there's 2 guards lying about 3 and 4 feet short of the house, covering the pot lid. So obviously Bruce didn't want that to push the yellow off the edge in towards the centre, so he swept it past.
And in our televised game, the Logan Gray came up slightly light, and that's just happened to ruin his shot as well, so just wonder whether the ice has changed slightly.
Inside. Slightly inside. Just let that one go slightly inside the brush, which caused it to swing onto that front guard. Now we've got 3 guards lying in a row in front of the house. Not quite sure. On sheet 5, the Greys took a 1 at the first, a 1 at the second, and stole a further 3 at the third. Grant Hardie came back with a 2 in the 4th, but then Lorne and Logan Gray scored a 1 in the 5th and currently lead 6-2. We'll give you an update of the line score on sheet 6 at the conclusion of this end.
And Lorne now trying to come down through the port onto the yellow on the button.
It's only about a stone and a half there, so if she gets through, it's a good shot, very good shot. But that's one thing, as you mentioned in opening comments, Gary, Chris and his ice boys have produced consistently good swinging ice. So, given the right weight, that's just slightly heavier than I think was asked. That would have come right the way through. I mean, there are 4 to 6 foot swings on the ice, but you need to be more or less weight perfect. And at the end, it takes a very big swing as the stone finishes. But here, it's not going to be very easy to get to that centre yellow with the reds playing a double off, probably off the yellow at the side. But if you're playing a safety shot, you'd have to say you'd be coming round, and it's Grant playing the shot, so he'll probably look to just come round onto the front of the house, half covering the yellow and stopping because there is an absolutely straight raise on either on the left hand of the 3 guards in front of the house. Just come round, don't touch, don't touch.
Stone.
Oh, it's perfect. That is an excellent stone. If there is a double, if he wants to play it on the red, straight double, hits it dead, just a wee bit right of centre as we look at it, and get the angles for the 2 off the centre. This will be a raised double. Take out.
Bit of a wobble when she delivered it. Just a bit high.
Yeah.
And now the chance for another one to be put into live 4. There is still a draw on the other side as well.
It'd be very difficult to come all the way around and line shot, but if again the correct weight, and with really good sweeping at the end, you could probably get in just. But I wouldn't like to say you go much further than that, because you're asking it to draw a good 2 to 2.5 feet when you pass the front guard.
Yeah.
So an awful lot to ask. Now this is looking good line. Has it got the right weight? You want it round the back, you don't want him touching the stones. You've heard the word perfecto. That's almost that stone, isn't it? How can you see Logan getting out that?
Well, I think he could possibly just get the double on those 2.
Remember, it's Lauren that's throwing. She doesn't have the same weight that Logan can throw.
Yeah.
Well, he's asking for her to try it.
And then he'll want to probably roll across just to outcount the yellow and the...
If she just scrapes past that guard, possibility of 3, but that's tight.
Oh yes.
Oh, he got past. Yeah. That was bad luck. It was a very good try, but they're still line 2. I don't think to try and play the double she could have asked for any less weight, and I think with the weight as well, had she come a fraction more, should have been on the front guard, so she wouldn't have got the stones out.
So a draw down here still gives Grant a chance to lie 3, and that would be as with 1 stone from each team still to come.
Yeah. Where did Robin go to? Where's Robin?
You needing your coffee?
Water.
Indication.
Water.
This one's hanging a bit
What's-
high.
It's coming.
It's going to sit out a wee bit, so there'll be a chance to come in off that.
Yes, but you see what I mean at the end, how much that swung just as it died.
Yeah.
So if you got past the front one and you were able to sweep it and just leave it in, you could certainly been right in the centre.
Yeah. Just needed to be a couple of feet shorter than that, and that would have been a great stone. But
A couple of feet shorter and a wee bit more sweeping, Gary. Just a wee bit more sweeping. But no, it's very good. It's a good game.
I think Rogan will now play down the top of these two yellows and lie. And hanging high, but
Yeah.
if the weight comes off, it should come nicely. Just needs to
It's
turn a
coming
bit more.
round. It's coming round now. Coming in beautifully.
Yeah.
Yes, I like that. That's a really good stone.
Question whether they can
So-
get the edge of that, and would have to be a hack weight shot to and
Yes.
right on the edge.
hmm
For three.
There's not a lot of space there. In
No.
fact, if she, even if she got it 3/4 of it, she still get the run off the for the right of the two yellows, and maybe able just to run it past and still pick up 2, if not 3.
Yeah.
Most likely to be a 2. You know, I've suddenly realised why I could never be good at this mixed doubles.
Why is that, Leslie?
Because at school I was good at arithmetic and trigonometry, but lousy at geometry.
Alright.
So my angles would be all wrong. I see that unfortunately the game in sheet 6 is now just about a full end behind.
Yep. This is a key shot here, a chance for a 3
Yes.
if they can get it just right.
Oh, she's going for one only. Going for one only at that weight.
No, I think she's trying to tap
Is
the
she?
edge of it.
Is she? Don't
Yeah, yeah,
think so.
yeah,
Has
yeah.
she got it?
Yeah.
Oh well, what's she got? She's got 2.
3, I think.
That's well played. Didn't
No,
think
just
she.
two,
I didn't
maybe.
think she'd
Just
be-
2.
Just 2. Just 2. Didn't think she'd wait for that. Anyway, well played. No, they're looking at the front one.
Yeah. Can't really tell on this angle from the camera,
No.
so might be a measure, I don't know. Certainly
Well,
2.
There's certainly 2. Certainly 2 in the measure. I would think. I would measure
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, they've asked me for a measure. That was a great shot by Rowena.
And here comes the running umpire. Ex-TV specialist in snooker. He used to snooker umpire. Did you know that?
No.
Colin, yes, he was a snooker umpire until for the Worlds and the British. Okay, folks, let's just turn our eyes to sheet 6 just now. They've now finished their 5th end, and the line score reads: the first end went to Bruce Mowat with a 1. The second end went to the McClearys with a 1. The third end went to Mowat with a 2, which was reversed by the McClearys on sheet 4. And in the 5th end, Mowat came away with a 1. So after 5 ends, it is 4 to 3. 4 to 3 to Mowat. So our defending champions are leading by 1 shot after 5 ends. But they are a full end behind sheet 5.
That person who was going to get our coffee doesn't seem to be doing that. What kind of influence do you have, Leslie, on this? You just connected us. So I'm still live then. You're leaving? So I have to talk myself. I do want my coffee, yes, thank you much. Leslie's just going to get me a coffee. It's milk and 1 sugar today, and some chocolate cake as well, please. How's this measure going? Measure's over, and we're on to the 7th end of this game, and it could go either way at the moment. Just waiting for the score to be put up as they place the stones. And on the other sheet, with Bruce Moutt's team 4-3 up against the McClearys. James McCleary is drawing at the moment through a port, and she's line 2 and looking to draw a third in. Both the stones at the moment are well guarded. So Rowena delivering the first stone of the 7th end. Looks like a nice weight. Wanting to try and get that stone right on top of the... Sorry, we're just watching James McCleary's stone come right on top of the 4 foot. Although the score has gone up as 7-2, that's not right. Score's wrong. We're just waiting for the score to go up in the Logan Gray Grant Hardie game. Not quite sure whether it was a 2 or a 3. And it's a 3. So in fact the score now is 6-5 with 2 ends to go.